Have you noticed that some of the most powerful and wealthy people on the planet wear cheap watches? Today, we're bringing to the spotlight 10 celebrities who choose to wear budget watches, and the reasons are way more interesting than any price tag. Let's go. Beginning our countdown today is Joe Rogan. According to reports, Joe Rogan is worth well over $200 million. He has a mouth-watering Spotify deal, a giant compound, and access to any luxury timepiece on earth. But what do you see on his wrist during his 3-hour marathons? A Casio G-Shock Mudmaster, specifically the GG1000, which retails for around $300. The watch was built for military operations, deep woods hunting, and getting beaten to a pulp. On his podcast, Rogan sheepishly admitted he was wearing a G-Shock right after discussing a 5-figure Grand Seiko. His guest, watch enthusiast Matt Farah, immediately defended it, calling G-Shocks every watch guy's tool watch. This proves that Joe Rogan doesn't need a watch to signal power, he is the signal. He could buy a Patek Philippe Grand Complications for breakfast, wear it twice, and donate it to charity by the weekend. Instead, he buys a tactical tool that you literally cannot break with a sledgehammer. But Joe Rogan isn't the only icon who prefers a watch that can take a beating over a delicate luxury status symbol. At number 9 is Al Pacino. Some people know him as Tony Montana. He's been at the top of the A-list for over half a century, a 4-time Golden Globe winner, Oscar winner, and a man whose films have grossed billions worldwide. Yet for his iconic role as Lieutenant Vincent Hanna in the 1995 crime masterpiece Heat, Pacino wore a stainless steel Bulgari Diagono chronograph. These older steel Diagono models from the 1990s can be easily picked up on the pre-owned market today for around $1,000. What makes this fascinating is that Pacino didn't just wear it because a prop master handed it to him. He loved the watch so much that it became one of his cinema's most iconic timepieces. His co-stars have shown up to press runs in Rolexes and Audemar's Piguet, but the man who played Tony Montana wears a watch that your accountant owns. Now let's talk about the king of raw screen presence who brings that same energy, except this one earned it on the battlefield. Denzel Washington is a 2-time Oscar winner and one of the most respected men in Hollywood. Reports say he has a net worth of $280 million and a reputation for playing the most commanding characters in modern cinema. Think about his performance in Training Day, Glory, or Malcolm X. When Denzel walks into a room, everyone stops and listens. He has the kind of wealth that allows him to casually drop 6 figures on a piece of haute horlogerie. But on a regular day, Denzel chooses to wear a Hamilton Casio G-Shock Mudmaster. The exact reference he's been regularly seen with since 2021 is the GGB 101B, which retails for $380. Denzel has been photographed wearing it courtside at Lakers games next to Spike Lee, and he even had it on his wrist the night LeBron James broke the NBA all-time scoring record. But Denzel's focus on functionality takes a backseat to our next celebrity. Making its way to number 7 is Barack Obama. Here is a man who ran the free world for 8 years. As the 44th president of the United States, he's had access to state gifts, diplomatic presents, and virtually any timepiece on earth. But the watch that stayed on his wrist through 2 inaugurations and his entire presidency was a Jorg Gray 6500 chronograph sold at just $325. Let's give you the backstory. In August 2007, while still a senator on the campaign trail, Obama's Secret Service detail noticed he admired the watch one of the agents was wearing. So, for his 46th birthday, they pulled together and bought him one. The version they gave him had the official United States Secret Service seal printed on the dial. Obama loved it so much he wore it to his inauguration. But Obama isn't the only titan who lets function win over flash. Up next at number 6 is Jason Statham. In the watch community, Statham is known for having an incredibly sophisticated taste. But when he's filming or just living his everyday life, he dials it back to mid-tier luxury watches like a Panerai Luminor Marina. On the secondary market, an entry-level Panerai Luminor sits comfortably between $3,500 and $5,000. Now, to a regular person, a $4,000 watch is a major milestone purchase. But when your co-stars are rolling into movie sets, wearing $150,000 Patek Philippe Perpetual calendars or $1 million Richard Mille's, rocking a standard steel watch is the Hollywood equivalent of wearing a budget Casio. Yes, this is budget when you're worth $90 million, because context is everything. Let's just say Statham doesn't need a watch to tell you he's dangerous. The watch is there to tell you he's punctual. But Jason Statham takes this to a whole different level when compared to America's favorite movie dad. Now on the flip side, if you love uncovering wild watch secrets like this, smash that like button and subscribe. We've got more surprising details coming right up. Back to number 5, Tom Hanks. Between Forrest Gump, Castaway and Saving Private Ryan, his films have grossed billions of dollars worldwide. That's why he has a personal fortune of over $400 million. If he wanted to, Tom Hanks could easily buy the entire Hamilton watch company without breaking a sweat. Yet, among his most documented personal watches is a a stainless steel Rolex Explorer 1. The Rolex Explorer 1 is sold at $6,500. It's the direct descendant of the watch built for the historic 1953 Everest expedition. Surprisingly, we're seeing this understated piece on America's dad's wrist when he could have afforded virtually anything in the catalogue. However, Tom Hanks' classic taste is the complete opposite of that of this next guy. Right up at number 4 is Bill Gates. Bill Gates co-founded Microsoft and has a net worth of $100 billion. He could fund an entire Swiss watch brand, acquire every piece in a Geneva auction, and still have change left over. However, he chose to wear a Casio Duro MDV 106 sold at $70. Gates has been spotted wearing it on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert during interviews and throughout his travels. GQ UK noted that Gates' habit of wearing inexpensive Casios is an unstatus-y statement from one of the world's richest men. Now, an next entry is slightly more expected. However, the watch choice still manages to catch people completely off guard. Swinging right into number 3 is Adam Driver. Adam went from a rugged Marine to a Hollywood heavyweight. He acted in Star Wars as Kylo Ren and went on to take more lead roles for legendary directors. With a net worth climbing past $35 million, he has the financial firepower to acquire the most exclusive luxury watches on the market. But when Adam Driver wants to look sharp on the red carpet or out in public, he relies on his Breitling Top Time. Actually, the story behind that choice is more interesting than you'd expect. Driver is a Breitling ambassador, which means he had his pick of the entire catalogue. Out of everything on offer, he chose the Top Time. This is a modern reissue of a 1960s chronograph design, a steel model that sits around the $5,000 mark. But Adam Driver's vintage elegance is completely fit by an absolute giant of entertainment who measures luxury by weight rather than price. Making it to the runner-up position is Dwayne Johnson. Dwayne is one of the highest paid actors in Hollywood, a global fitness icon and a business mogul. The Rock has access to the finest things money can buy. But because of his massive physique, standard luxury watches look like toys on his wrists. That's why he mostly wears a steel Panerai Submersible. An entry-level steel Panerai Submersible can be found on the pre-owned market for around $6,000. While that isn't loose change, for a man pushing towards hundreds of millions of dollars net worth, it's a modest daily driver. The Submersible has a 47mm stainless steel case and a rugged rubber strap built to withstand intense sweat and heavy workouts. If you look at it more closely, you notice that his legendary cheap meals cost more than his daily watch, and that's the ultimate flex. But The Rock's massive watch is nothing compared to how the ultimate Hollywood watch collector dials it back. Wrapping up our countdown today is Mark Wahlberg. Mark is famous in the watch community for owning one of the most insane Rolex and Patek Philippe collections on the planet. Yet, when he wants to look truly elegant, Wahlberg reaches for a stainless steel Rolex Oyster Perpetual in turquoise blue. You can get it at retail for $6,150. Unlike his diamond-flooded timepieces, the Oyster Perpetual is the absolute definition of understatement. There are no dates, no rotating parts, and absolutely zero diamonds. Even though he's worth $400 million, Mark still wears the most understated Rolex in the catalogue with zero diamonds. Can he beat that? In the end, these icons prove that a watch is about telling your story and owning your style. So if you loved uncovering the secret watch choices of the world's richest celebrities, what will happen when you uncover Drake's watch collection in our next video? See you there.